is out very sick tonight, so I'm just taking over for her. So we'll do a call to order and we'll do attendance. Ben, are you here? Do we have our secretary?
I just got a message from him. He requested I proxy for him, so
Okay.
secretary reporting.
Great. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate it. Do you mind taking attendance?
Not at all.
Thank you.
Legislative director.
Hello.
Affiliates director.
Here.
Treasurer.
Yeah.
Communications director.
Here.
Outreach director.
Present.
Campaigns director.
Bert.
Here but muted. Thank you. And our vice chair.
Here.
And chair absent. We have some guests. Aaron, he's admitted.
Cool. Thank you.
Anybody else?
I think that's it. Okay. So we do have availability for public comment, 2 minutes. If there's anything for public comment that we should address at the meeting tonight, bring that up. If there's any sort of other business, I'd love to give everybody the last word, at the end of the meeting. So it's up to you. But if anyone has a public comment, please raise their hand. I got shown your picture very briefly, Frank. Did you want to make a comment, or do you want to just have some time at the end? I'll give you okay, perfect. No problem. Okay, great. Then moving on, approval of the previous minutes. Is there any objection to approving the previous board minutes from the last meeting? Hearing none, great. We will move on. Those are passed. I will go into affiliate reports real quick. Is there anyone here from Arapahoe? I don't know how active that affiliate is anymore. Anyone from Boulder? Is Boulder still active? Didn't that, or have we not?
Boulder is long dead.
That's on the agenda.
Owe a crazy amount in fines, and we just.
That's what I thought.
Board meeting.
Yeah, that's what I thought that we
disaffiliating
had.
them in Pueblo.
Okay, cool, great, perfect. Anyone from? Sorry, go ahead.
No worries, go on.
Okay, anyone from Denver? I just recently moved to Denver, but have not gone to a meetup yet. I know there is still discussion about, I think, merging Arapahoe, Denver, and Jeffco, but I don't necessarily know where the chairs are on that discussion. Anyone from El Paso? Anybody from Jefferson County?
Present. And yeah, I can give you a quick update on the merger if you'd like.
Perfect. Thank you, Russ.
The other counties, I was a little concerned about it. I like the idea, but I was originally under the impression that the counties were still going to maintain some semblance of a board, even if it was very small, for their actual county representation. What we were talking about at that meeting was basically dissolving them and just having the one metro area affiliate. And so I basically said I'm gonna need some time to think, put out a vote or something, maybe talk to some members and see what they think about it.
Okay.
I wasn't really comfortable making that decision unilaterally, but we're definitely moving.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Anybody from Mesa County? Okay. Is there anything from Pueblo, Jim, that you necessarily want to say? Because I know we're going to move on to disaffiliation, so I don't know if you want to add anything.
I just moved to Denver, so
great.
Though I'm still chair of Pueblo, I don't feel like
I can
qualified to speak
on Pueblo, just being active with whatever level of activism we have there. and that's just that there is a YAL. There was a YAL meeting a couple weeks ago that went well, and then one last week that went poorly. But as in not enough people showed up and it didn't happen. But if we can get enough people to regularly show up, that will just straight up turn into a regular affiliate as well. So hopefully
Great.
we can re-affiliate almost immediately.
Okay, cool. That's actually really great to hear. Next, technically, we have our reports from the LNC, but Aaron has just asked me to call on him a little bit later. I don't know if you know this. Do I need to call in a vote to move that business, or can I just move that business forward further down to the meeting? Okay. Well, without hearing any objection, then we'll wait to hear on Aaron until he gets a chance to be ready, so we can move into board reports. Are there any other LNC representatives here? I know Aaron is our new regional representative. I'm sorry, I should have asked that. Great. Okay, moving on to board reports. I will just read what Hannah asked me to share here in terms of what she's been working on. Both her and I, and also I know Michael Vance was there, Jim Wiley, attended the committee on the hearing on the egg bill that we forwarded and put forward to Representative Ryan Gonzalez. She went in person to the gun ban hearing. I think Michael was there. Mark, I don't know if you were there. I'm sure there are other people I'm missing. I think Jim was there, and some people spoke on it online. A few of us attended the Taste of the Peak fundraiser, which is a investigative independent journalism nonprofit that trains people down in Colorado Springs. So we went down there, made some connections. I almost spent $500 on Floyd Mayweather's boxing gloves, but I didn't. Like, they went up, and everyone in the room, you can tell, is like, I don't watch boxing, but I know who that is, and I want to know, if I bid $400, can I sell it for more? She went to lunch with Heidi Ganal, learned more about her nonprofit and the resources. They're working on a initiative called the Road to Red, I believe. I don't know a lot about that, I will admit. I just
It was the
there were
top
some
on the rocks, I think, recently. So
Okay.
media would. I may be wrong on that, but I think it was, or at least she
Okay.
was speaking on it. Yeah.
There have been some issues around Region 1 on the national level. Obviously, with one of our, I think, regional reps got removed. Aaron has taken his place. Angela at the national level chair has resigned, and Steve Nicalia, who I think at one point was the vice chair, I'm not sure, has now taken over and been voted in as LNC chair.
large.
Say that again.
Andrew Tate was at large.
Oh, I'm sorry, at large. Okay. The legislative live streams every week Hannah watches those. Those are great, going well. She wants to give kudos to Michael and Brandon. Those have been blowing up, which is really great to see. Participated in her team meetings. She met with legislators at the Capitol. She has been running the Facebook and Instagram. It looks like we're at about 1 million views there. Co-hosted the legislative live stream with Free State on 2/9. Hannah did have a big op-ed that came out in Colorado Politics called "Is Jared Polis a Libertarian?" That was the first op-ed listed. She received 2 smear articles from the Colorado Times-Recorder, had several phone calls with sitting legislatures about libertarian objectives this legislative season, and she attended the paper bag fee bill online. Half of my board report is essentially going to those things with Hannah, as well as getting involved in a new music venue that's downtown, which may be open to having fundraisers and meetings and stuff there. Cool. So then it's, God, who is the next person? Let's see, sorry, treasurer is next for a board report.
Oh.
Do you have anything?
Well, I do. Finally, we got online access to our bank account. Woohoo! And we seem to be moving everything across. We didn't do so well on donations in January. We're down at $1,040 in donations. But what really made things nice is that we got two big checks in from the RFK, which we have to give most of it away to the LNC, but let's not worry about that at the moment. But we got two nice checks in for $56,500. And, you know, we just had our usual splattering expenses. The only thing thing was advertising was unusual. We spent the $2,000 on the X advertising, but the rest of everything else seemed to be fairly in our normal scope of things.
Okay, excellent. I think the next is Secretary. But I don't know if you have anything to report, Jim. I'm probably not. I'm guessing since you just took over for Ben last minute.
Nothing to report, thank you.
Okay, great. Affiliates, Mark, you're up next, sir.
So there hasn't been too much past what I kind of already hinted at, but I've been working in Pueblo a fair bit. I do have a lead in Colorado Springs for a chapter there. That would just be supporting the existing affiliate.
Great.
I'm trying to look for ways to activate Jefferson, Arapahoe, and Denver. Just have them doing more shit right now, you know? So one way I would do that, of course, is getting more people to show up to testify at the hearings, the various legislative sessions. So I don't know. Actually, you know, that's something I should work on the database on. That just occurred to me that I should try to access that to see if I can send out an email. Here are the bills we care about. But I've been, you know, testifying at least on my end and trying to encourage some other people to do so where I can. Try to put out the RMGO petition everywhere I can. Yeah, that's most of what this month has been.
Great. Thank you so much, sir. Campaigns, Kurt, you're up next, sir. If there's anything you want to report, or I know you are recently new, so no pressure.
Sorry, if you don't mind, I just remembered something else. I also went to LibertyCon this past weekend, which is Students for Liberty's big national convention, and got some contacts there for potential guest speakers at any events we might have, and may have connected just with that organization, so hopefully I can bring them in. And they're like YAL, but whereas YAL is activism, they're about theory and discussion of, you know, the principles that guide us. And I think there's very much a place for both. You know, what is activism? Activism without theory is activating on nothing, not getting anything done, and theory without activism is dead. So I think it'll be great to bring them in, and hopefully we can have more activity on the student front that way.
Great, excellent. Kurt just messaged me. He has nothing to add, which is great. Aaron also did just let me know he is ready whenever. So what we'll do is we'll finish the board reports here. We'll do the staff reports real quick, and then we'll let Aaron speak. That way the reports are all sort of tied up together. So communications, Jordan, you're up if you have anything you want to report, sir.
Yeah, as Ashley mentioned, we initially decided to allocate money to just the normal social media spend, but then X ran a sale on their organization level of verification. So the board decided to go ahead and jump on that and essentially uplift that. That does come with more than that value in ad credits. So it basically pays for itself without any other value being said there. I have firmly, throughout my tenure here, especially since Elon Musk put money or bought it, that X is our mouthpiece out to the rest of the people that at least we want to communicate with. So I think it's a good investment, and I'm looking to schedule some time with an ad specialist from X to look at what we need to do and how we need to do it to maximize those credits. And they will still go towards things that we discussed previously, like legislative pushes and things of that nature. So just getting that set up. It just earlier this last week, it did come back as approved. So I think it was Friday or so, they approved our account. So it's got a nice gold check on it. Otherwise, just helping support, the legislative session and things like that. Yeah, Hannah's doing a great job with Instagram. So whatever she's doing, she's rocking and rolling with that. And yeah, other than that, I do like to report as kind of a pulse check to the board as what I'm feeling out there in the ether, the political sphere is we as a party, in my opinion, need to be cheering on more some of the positive things that we're seeing out of the current administration. I think that being realistic and not worrying about seeming like you're shilling for one or the other. Trump is all likelihood going to hire Ron Paul to audit and end the Fed. He freed Ross Ulbricht. Like, there's clearly a winning team in American politics right now, and it's my opinion that we need to continue to advocate for that. So that's my position on national politics from the count. But yeah, otherwise, just helping out the other directors as I can.
Great. Kirsten, do you have a question? And I'm sorry if you had one for someone previous and I skipped over you.
Yes, I did. I was just going to say that the contacts that you made at YALCON for potential speakers, it could be really valuable to echo that back to Mayor Lamb as he plans the convention for us. So just making sure that he's in the loop on all of those contacts, because that could be great.
Okay, good deal.
Great, thank you. Okay.
By the way, Kirsten, I want to point out the irony that you made a joke. Okay, never mind.
Sorry. I was going to say fundraising is now vacant. Legislative is not. So, Michael, if you want to report on anything.
Absolutely. As previously mentioned, legislative live streams have begun with the beginning of the 2025 legislative session for Colorado, barring any special sessions that popped up. I know the last 2 years in a row we have had special sessions. Last year we had one regarding property taxes. The other one was also regarding property taxes. And I know if you were paying attention to 2023 special session, that we had good old Timmy Hamas and Elizabeth Epps pull a bunch of shenanigans that ended up helping getting them primaried. So who knows what's going to happen? But this year, what we're seeing in this year's legislative live streams is we're seeing a lot more activity. For example, last year's legislative live stream, the largest one, the highest view count was week 11 with 184 views. Every single legislative live stream we've done so far has hit at least 200 some views, with a few of them hitting at least 300. In fact, yesterday's live stream with Hannah and Brandon is at 222 views. So that's in less than 24 hours. So happy to see the progress. People are paying attention. We are getting a lot of bigger names as well. We started off with Rep. Ryan Armagost, who's the minority whip. We had Senator Scott Bright. We had Reps Brandy Bradley, Ryan Gonzalez, as well as Ken DeGraff. So we're getting a lot of legislators come on, talk about their bills. In fact, Senator Scott Bright had a very interesting clip about public testimony. So essentially what he was saying is it's a good idea to go ahead and about 2 weeks or so before a bill that you're curious about or concerned about is up for committee hearing, go ahead, start not necessarily sending blanket emails out to the entire legislature, but pinpoint those specific people on the committee and let them hear your testimony. For example, one thing I noticed was Rep. Megan Lukens, when we had our egg bill, she was genuinely listening to Hannah's testimony. Because Hannah had a really good, powerful testimony talking about the price of groceries and how hard it is for her and her family, and it really connected with Megan Lukens. And the one rep to vote for our bill before it got killed was Rep. Megan Lukens. So while it was a party line Hill itself, she voted to initially let the bill pass and I think that Hannah really impacted her just because of how I could see um, her response. The next day after our egg bill, when we all testified, I was not able to speak just because of how many people were there, but I signed up to testify and I was there till 11 o'clock. For the assault weapons ban. And what was really unique is the ability to network that we're really able to gain. I was able to talk with Ian Escalante. I sat in Rep. Ryan Armago's office for the last couple hours of the testimony, sat there with Ian, sat there with Rep. Ryan Armagos. Senator Brian Pelton came in for a few minutes when he needed to take a break from the testimony, from the hearing. And in fact, Rep. Ty Winter was there as well. So it was very interesting to be a part of that. I highly encourage everybody to get down to the Capitol and engage with your legislators, because you can make a real difference by speaking with these individuals, because they do want to hear from you. They want to hear your voice. So that's it for
Michael,
me.
thank you. Quick question. Do you know the Democratic rep who did vote for our egg bill? You don't happen to know her district off the top of your head, do you?
I don't know the district off the top of her head. I believe she's in I believe it's a mountain district, but I can't tell you the district itself.
Okay. No worries. I was just kind of curious how safe or unsafe it necessarily, her seat might be. And then in terms of like what you said about showing up, it's good because if nothing else with that gun bill, it does make their lives miserable. They have to sit there for 13 hours. And I've.
Sorry, go ahead. Oh, I was going to say, with that gun bill, it's very important from a legislative perspective to put the pressure on it, because when they initially introduced that thing, they had as many people as possible sign up as co-sponsors as a way to kind of help intimidate the constituency within Colorado. So that way they could kind of, basically make people feel like it's kind of a pointless battle, because it's introduced in the Senate this time. They had enough co-sponsors to get the thing passed initially, but because of the pressure, we're finding out things like Senator Mark Snyder put his name on that thing, and he didn't even read the bill, and now he's come out in opposition of the bill, yet he's currently on the draft of the bill as a co-sponsor. So keep it up. Email these Democrats, because you have you have these people pulling back. Senator Nick Hendrickson also pulled back. He's in a very competitive district. He's very, very vulnerable for his next election, and and I think that played a factor into it as well. A lot of these legislators that are very vulnerable could be on the chopping block if they go ahead and pass this bill. So.
And Frank, if you make DVDs explaining what approval voting is, I will just drop it on legislators' desks as I roam through the Capitol.
That's right.
I don't mind. We'll just put any information.
Yes.
And not just for Frank. I mean, if anybody has stuff that could be passed along, like that's, and I know most everyone who's listening to this already comes to legislative sessions, but pass on to friends or neighbors of, we can be a method of passing on other stuff to people. Especially if it's things we can get behind, even if it's not like maybe the why we're there at the legislature that day. But Michael, you've done a really great job over the past couple of years, and it seems like this is one of the places we're becoming most, I guess, influential, but certainly effective in Colorado, is getting to the legislature and speaking on legislation and getting some legislation up in front of a committee.
And it's been absolutely incredible to see. I mean, we have examples from the past. For example, David Aiken. I mean, look what he was able to do with our campaign access laws or ballot access laws. So, I mean, we have examples of what we can do. It's just, I think that there's been how do I want to say this? There's been a malaise, I'll say, from people, where people feel very disenchanted, like they can't do anything just because they're a libertarian, which is absolutely not true at all. So get out there, get active. Just because we don't have a quote unquote a legislator in a position at the Capitol doesn't mean that these people aren't willing to work with you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Williams for membership. Is Mr. Williams on? Not sure I saw him. Okay. Kirsten, Miss Steinke, yeah, you're up next. And
Yeah,
also,
so
if you
pretty
had
normal.
a question you wanted to ask first, please ask that. I'm sorry, I just saw your hand again.
Oh my gosh, now I can't remember what it was.
So
Yeah,
sorry.
that's what that question was. Yeah, I should have written it down. But yeah, pretty normal month for outreach. Attended Liberty on the Rocks, worked with a lot of the board reports and everything. I'm sorry, the issues that we're working in the committee meetings and everything. Pretty average week. And I guess, I don't know, this isn't a question, but I would just like to chime in that the feeling of malaise, that we're like a feeling of powerlessness and impotence, that's like absolutely what the state wants. And if you look at the work that we've done over the past year or 2 years, like, it's not true. We can prove them. We will fail on occasion, but we can have a lot of victories. And I think there's a lot of room for hope just in what has happened over the past couple of years.
The way you phrased that and started it sounded a little bit like it was starting an ED commercial of like, are you feeling put down and malaise and powerless against the government? Pfizer has a pill for that.
Has this ever happened to you?
Okay, great. Okay, moving on to staff reports. Mr. Wiley.
Thank you. A couple things to report on. I just want to rewind a couple weeks. In January, we had a scheduled mediation that took place in regards to the Patty McMahon versus, let me check the date on that. That was the 23rd of January, versus LPCO lawsuit for defamation. Obviously, the terms of the mediation, anything there discussed is confidential per the terms of mediation, which is required by the court. However, there was no settlement resolution from the mediation, and the following week an amended complaint was filed by Patricia in the case by her lawyers at Baker Law Group. And the amended complaint has a period of 21 days to respond, which expires, I think, either this week or next week. I think it's next week. And so we'll be looking forward to fulfilling that deadline with a response. But basically, this resets everything that we've gone through so far in the lawsuit back to square one, with the exception that I don't expect the court to require us to repeat the mediation efforts that we've gone through. Other elements to update on. We are making progress with our digital migration, with things related to the website and database. A special shout out to people who have contributed to that and have stepped up to assist. Of course, our database manager, David, thank you so much for your help with the contacts and acquiring those. Ross, who is expert and Civi from the national level and assisting with the migration efforts there. Ashley, for just an infinite source of patience and comfort in my life and in all of yours. And of course, Mark, who is on the agenda today to also further assist with some of those technology development and migration elements. Great to have knowledgeable and skilled youth prepared to assist us with some of that. And I feel old now for saying that. Also, I have an update personally on my position. I will be stepping back from a staff capacity, at least a paid staff capacity, to a volunteer staff capacity with my position as executive director due to my attainment of a full-time position, which also requires my moving to Denver and being more of a nuisance to the tyrants of the state capitol, which I'm looking forward to being able to do given the increased proximity. So just wanted to mention that briefly. I'll likely be joining whatever merged thing of an affiliate we were able to create up here. I'm excited to participate in that, though I'll still be eager to travel and support El Paso, Liberty on the Rocks there, the YAL chapter established in Pueblo. Very passionate about seeing that through. And I've also planted seeds connecting different people on campus and off campus who are passionate about supporting Liberty, both to support the new Yale chapter and to transition into the development of the new affiliate there. Since I left, it was literally the last thing I did on the Sunday night before I left, is have a few friends over and say, "Hey, I'm leaving it in your hands. Good luck." And they were very enthused, and I gave them copies of Rothbard, and so I think that's going to go well. That's most of my update as far as things are going. We also have an event planning that we're coming up in March 28th, but I'll be given more details about that as it comes to floor motions. And thank you very much.
Great, thank you very much. And we did get in the Capitol building through security because we met a old frat brother of Jim Wiley's. So he has connections everywhere, apparently. Okay.
Lambda Chi, chops.
Yep. Mr. Aiken, you are up next, sir.
I don't have anything to report.
Okay. Mr. Savoy, you are up next.
Got nothing for you, you absolute king.
Great, appreciate it. I guess next to the committee reports.
Hey, Jacob.
Yes.
2 things I forgot to add. One is Bennett Rutledge. We've been seeing him down at the Capitol. Want to say thank you. It's fantastic to see libertarians down there talking with our legislators and submitting testimonies. I mean, I can't expect more. I mean, you see him active on legislative live streams as well. Happy to see that. He's been another longtime libertarian. Happy to see when people are not only talking the talk but walking the walk. So very appreciative of that. And then Jim, I'm so also, I'm just going to say this. I'm so excited to see you down at the Capitol even more than you already are. So let's give these people a real run for their money. Cannot wait. If you guys don't know, Jim got a very, very positive response for one of his testimonies just a couple weeks ago from one of our legislators. So looking forward to seeing more of the input.
Doing so admitting that the Freemasons are secretly run by Moloch? No.
No,
Okay.
Moloch is secretly run by the Freemasons.
Okay, that makes actually more sense. Okay, so I know we have the committee reports, but I want to ask real quick, in terms of all the board reports we just did. Let's see, Mr. Buss, Jordan, and is there anything on those committee reports that maybe have been missed in the board reports that anyone wants to fill in? Let's do it that way, because I know the committee reports are kind of supposed to cover a lot of the stuff we talked about. Great. Okay. Perfect. So then let's see. Special orders. Are there any special orders for tonight? I don't think so. Do we have any unfinished business that I'm not seeing? Great. Okay. So then moving on to new business. 13.1 is motion to disaffiliate. First, the disaffiliation of the Pueblo County Libertarian Party. So we'll start with that first. Does anyone want to make a motion toward that?
I'd like to make a motion as a proxy of the secretary to disaffiliate Pueblo.
Right.
I second.
Okay. Do we have any comment or anyone who disagrees with this? No. Okay, great. Hearing none, Pueblo County is disaffiliated. Now moving on to B under 13.1, disaffiliation of Boulder County Libertarian Party. And again, as we mentioned, this is not anything against Boulder. It's just with the fines that they have. This would happen in Jeffco County a while back. A new party can be established without those reoccurring fines that they had before. So can anyone make a motion for me, please?
I motion to disaffiliate the Libertarian Party of Colorado Boulder affiliate.
Great. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Great. Is there anyone opposed? Don't see anyone. Okay, great. Cool. Okay, so Boulder has been disaffiliated. Now, it should be easy if there are people around Boulder that want to start a new affiliate to get that up and running. Okay, the next new business, 13.2, there is a motion to hire staff to web development and database management at $1,000. Did someone put that on there? Want to make that motion or discuss it? Who was the one who put this on the agenda?
That was me.
Okay, great.
Also, just a note for in the future, please submit agenda items. Then they'll be on the agenda. Okay. Nobody did, so I just wrote the agenda the way I wanted it to be. Anyways, so this is in relation to the migration. There's quite a bit of heavy lifting that needs to be done, both with web development and database migration, specifically shifting from Stripe into Anodot, our new digital payment processor. And so in order that this happen in a timely and efficient manner, having appropriate compensation for the individual as a staff member to accomplish those things is extremely important at this stage. As a former staff member, as of now, I guess that was my resignation earlier. I should probably put in writing. No, I'm not quitting. I'm not quitting. So I'm not resigning. Sorry, Kat. But anyways, so the idea will be to accelerate this process and get that migration done as soon as possible. We've got a lot of activity the rest of this legislative session. We've got events upcoming. We've got a convention upcoming. It's important that we have everything in order. It's been a year that we've been working on this migration, so we need to wrap it up in short order and get that done. And since I'm no longer available to be the primary heavy lifter on that, I appreciate the person who will be taking on that. And so this is specifically going to be Mark Nielsen. Thank you.
Yep.
No further comment.
I don't. Did we hear a motion in that?
Oh, so move.
Okay.
I'd like to enthusiastically second the motion.
Great. Did someone make the motion though?
Yeah.
I said so move. So.
Okay, great, perfect. Okay, any discussion or anyone opposed to this? No, okay, great. So hearing none, that passes. The next is a motion to allocate up to, oh wait, yes, oh yeah, and you know what, I completely skipped over Aaron. Aaron, I'm so sorry. I apologize, sir. You know what, before we move on to that, let me have Aaron give us an update as the LNC representative. If you're still
problem.
here, Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No problem, Mr. Chair Pro Tem. Are you all able to hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. So yes, I have now the responsibility as your Region 1 rep. Just as a reminder, Region 1 consists of Colorado, New Mexico, Kansas, Nebraska, Arizona, Alaska, Hawaii, Nevada, Idaho, Oregon, Montana, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Kentucky. This does make us a super region, so we do have 2 region reps. As Jacob has already given an overview of some of the recent changes at the LNC level, I won't repeat that information. I will just say that Mr. Heyman had resigned. He was one of the other Region 1 reps, and Mr. Garcia was removed. He was voted out by the region chairs. So I was selected to fill this role. Andrew Chatterton, who is Michigan State Chair, was the alternate. So per the regional agreement, he was elevated. So we currently have 2 vacancies for Region 1 alts. So if anyone's interested, please reach out, and for us to, or for the region chairs to consider to fill those positions. That's really the majority of the updates for Region 1 news. While I'm here, I will also say I'm the chair of the Candidate Support Committee at the national level, which is explicitly our goal is to elect and recruit and support candidates at the local level, similar to, of course, what I was able to do here, along with Cindy Baumgardner and Terry Wallert, who are Libertarian LPCO sustaining members that are elected to the Keensburg Town Board. So we are still actively recruiting. Our goal is to recruit 350 candidates across the country, with the expectation from what we've seen, we win at a rate of about 33%. So over the next 2 years, that would mean 100 new elected libertarians across the country. So please make our efforts easier by volunteering. Of course, unfortunately, the majority of the people that are in here and really that are active in the party are living in large cities. So that kind of excludes a lot of that, unfortunately. But if you do have friends that are in other parts of the state, more rural areas, please give them my information, or you can go to runaslibertarian.com, interest form, and our team will reach out to you. I think that's it. I'll entertain any questions if anyone has some.
Okay. No questions for Aaron. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I really appreciate it. Thank you for taking this on. We appreciate you, agreeing to do that. Cool. And then also very excited. Do you have also any announcements about the convention that you need to add? I think we mentioned that last time, but since you still have the floor.
Sure, by all means. So if it wasn't already stated previously, convention will be on May 31st at the Wild Animal Sanctuary here in Keansburg. They were very generous to not charge us a dime for that, so we're saving a lot in convention costs. It's an incredible location. I think if you want to just go unrelated, it costs $50 to go tour the place. But for any member who's attending convention, you can go tour and see all the animals for only $20. So it's very generous what they're doing for us.
What time is
That's
the
so
call to order?
9 a.m.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. That will be a lot of fun, partying with Joe Exotic's animals, because I think that's where all of Joe Exotic's animals were sent, was that animal sanctuary.
Definitely.
Yes, yeah. Approximately 80% of his lions and tigers came right here to Keansburg.
That's cool. Okay, great. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, then the next is a motion to allocate up to $3,500 for a legislative dinner, plus up to $1,000 for ads. Jim, do you want to speak on this?
Sure. I want to do clarification on the ads, given we have a significant allocation already available, the 2,500, and I don't think we'll need nearly 1,000, but just up until the point that we've sold the tickets that we have available for the event, I'd like to have funds available to promote the event. Basically, anytime anybody says the word libertarian, boom, we're serving them an ad to see if they'll support us in that capacity. We have other ticket sales efforts that we're going to be putting in place and pushing on. We've got an applicant for our fundraising director position who we're training up and getting in a position to help us with the ticket sales by reaching out to current and former donors and inviting them to the event. So I think we'll go through the number of tickets that we have available. We've allocated a total of 100 tickets, and with a minimum of 50 as our goal, but a maximum of 100. So we do have some wiggle room in there. Looks at this point in the planning process, we're going to be having some barbecue from a new local restaurant and at that side of Denver. So some nice southern barbecue with all the sides and fixins as you would expect. It's going to be delicious. I definitely need to report on the specific state that cuisine will be derived from, and I will do that as soon as I can. And we're also going to be having a number of presenters from esteemed legislators who are supporting us, as well as advocates. For example, Ian Escalante has agreed to come and present on the activism pro Second Amendment. We're going to be talking about taxes. We're going to be talking about eggs and the other fights that we've been fighting, and some of the heroes that have been championing that on our behalf. So it's going to be a great event, a great fundraiser. We're going to have other fundraising type components to that, but the major thing will be just ticket sales. The price will be determined shortly, but likely between $50 and $75, and will be. Thank you so much, Ashley, for that comment. Looking forward to having your assistance with that effort. And the location will be at the Park Hill Masonic Temple on Montview, right off Colorado Boulevard. So really accessible location. Sorry?
I said it's near the zoo. Everything we're doing is animals at the moment, so we're near the zoo.
Yes, it's quite the rowdy year we've had with Doge and all the rest taking leadership in our lives. So maybe we can get some cute dogs there. Maybe we can get some chainsaws to show up. Who knows? But that's going to be an incredible event, and it's just 3 minutes off I-70, so very accessible for people to get to wherever they're coming from. So looking forward to having a good participation there. We're looking at some other venue options, possibly centering it in Douglas County, but due to the high cost and insufficient venue options, we did choose to move it to Denver. So I'm glad to take additional questions on that. But otherwise, and we are only going to spend the $3,500 if we end up selling that many tickets. The cost of the venue, the catering is going to be about $25 a head. So if we sell the full 100 tickets, that's $2,500. And so we need to be prepared to have up to $3,500. Though if we only sell, say, 50 tickets, then obviously our costs will be significantly reduced, just $1,250 for the catering, and the total cost for the event will be under $2,000. So I think that's relatively reasonable. If we end up charging something like $50, we could easily make $5,000 from in revenue from that to make up the cost plus an additional income. So more than breaking even. And if we end up charging a little bit more than that, even, we'll do much better. Not to mention the additional donations we hope to generate through the attendance.
Question. Could you remind me what the date and time for this event is?
Yes. So the doors will be opening at 5 o'clock, and the dinner. I need to check my notes, but the food will be served between 6 and 7, I believe. So need to work with the catering company to make sure that works well with their time frame and the numbers as far as the dinner service. But it should go until 9 o'clock with presentations taking place between 7 and 9 o'clock. And then there will be alcohol served, which is available for purchase. So that's an additional component of the fundraising. And I would encourage anybody who wants to donate liquor to the pursuit to bring a bottle and donate that to Libertarian Party in kind. And we'll make sure to get you the proper receipt on that element, or buy the bottle back after you've donated it. Even that'd be even cooler. Though I don't know if we can sell you the whole bottle because that would be excessive. Either way, please be safe. It's a great venue, beautiful location, and I think everybody will have a great time. Great stage, lots of tables. It should be very well attended and right at the great moment within our legislative efforts to really highlight some of our successes and also rally around the upcoming challenges within defending against the tyranny of the Capitol. So.
And I think March 20, March
it's all
21st
based on
is the date.
over-serving. Sorry.
March 28th is the date. Between 5 and 10 p.m.
March 28th.
And it's all based on over-serving, Jim. So technically, if you can hold your liquor, we can sell you the bottle back. It's really just depending on, how put together somebody is. So if you can handle it.
In Minecraft. Okay.
Okay, great. Okay, so then is there a motion on this for Jim?
So moved.
Okay, great. Can I get a second?
I second.
Okay, is there any objections? Okay, great, excellent. So that passes. Okay, great. Is there any new business that anyone wants to add that wasn't listed here? And speak up, and just in case, because I don't see any hands. Okay, great. Okay, perfect. That closes the new business, and so now we're on to announcements, opportunities for additional public comment. So if anyone does have any public comment, that is aside from the board and staff, you're welcome. Anyone have anything they want to say?
Just want to say new name tags. If you haven't gotten your name tag, get with me. I'll get your name tag. They're super awesome.
Michael, I have yours.
Let's get together sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry about that.
Jacob,
Okay.
is this
Yes.
open for comment? Just
Yep. Yeah, absolutely, sir.
the Approval Voting Party will be having its state convention a week before the Libertarians, so our meeting will be on May 24th. And also, thank you for tasking me with producing a DVD/YouTube on approval voting. Thank you, sir.
I mean, it could be anything. It could be postcards too. I'm happy to, if it's a full-size cardboard cutout of you, I will put those in the office. Whatever you want to make, I'll put them there.
You're kind. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Yeah, I just want to public comment as well. I found out at the Leadership Training Summit in January that 36 and under thing for YAL was a lie commonly repeated. We don't really know where it originated from. Either way, it gives me a better case to bring in funding and bring in grassroots activists who are full-time professionals to help us for stuff if we have more members, especially board, and that the LP is showing a clear effort to want to work with YAL, since YAL's usual model is trying to flip GOP to work better. And obviously RLP is a better case than any in the country to work with YAL. Thank you, Ashley, though, if you did. Awesome. And if, I don't know why it's not showing up yet. If it doesn't sometime soon, I'll hit up Praxben and see and make sure you're in the system and that we can get you everything you need.
Mark, it probably comes from that as a 40-year-old, it's weird to talk to college kids. Like, the older you get, this is something you're going to understand as you get older as a man. The older you get, the creepier it is for you to just be in places sometimes. So that's probably, I'm fine to be joined, but that's probably it. Is they were probably like, we don't want these 45-year-olds hitting on 20-year-old college students.
Of course. And I'm just saying and in terms of where it originated, I understand why it may have originated. I'm just saying we don't know. And maybe it was an old rule or something. But either way, the attitude now is much more of a we want to expand as much as possible. We want to take advantage of the momentum we have for the liberty movement, and just about anyone can support that, and anyone can be an enthusiastic supporter of campus activism. So we want to
Great. I'm not hearing we can't. Great. I'm not hearing we can't hit on college students. So I'm married, so that's not for me. But anyone else who's single wants to go to the convention.
Oh,
just
good.
Because you can doesn't mean you should.
You don't have to say anything, Mark. You don't have to say anything. I can imply whatever I want out of your non-response. So okay.
It's about the implication, okay? It's the implication.
This is that Jacob is in love with me, but I'll run in fear next time I see him.
I mean, I'm married to a woman. There's nothing really stopping me if I want to pursue it. But okay. Are there any other public comments from anybody?
I just wanted to mention something of historical value for the Libertarian Party of Colorado. We did pass a resolution in November to free Ross Ulbricht, and we did it. So go us.
Yeah, pretty great. So, okay, so the next board meeting will be March 10th, I believe, right? At 7 o'clock.
Great.
Yes. Okay. Cool. Okay. Then if there's nothing else, then we adjourn for the evening. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a great evening. Take care.
You too. Yliberty.org/join. It's